Hello students, this is Mrityunjay Kumar Das from Bharat Bharati Public School. Today I am going to let you know about physical and chemical changes. Physical and chemical changes are the changes which we see all around us. Physical changes are those changes in which only physical properties of the substance changes and no new substance is formed. Generally, physical changes are reversible. Reversible processes are those processes which can be reversed by reversing the condition of the change, like evaporation of water, condensation of water vapor. These two examples are the examples of physical changes. Although there are many examples of physical changes, but in the case where water changes to water vapor, then it takes heat from the surrounding and the water molecules on the surface of the water get excited state and they changes to gaseous state. And there is a change in state only and no new substance is formed. That is the chemical formula of water and water vapor remain the same, H2O. That is in the case of evaporation of water, we cannot get new substances. Only the state of the substance is changed. And if state, color, shape, size, these are changed, and then the change can be reversed by reversing the process. Generally, the change can be reversed, reversing the process. Then the change is physical process. Physical change, like evaporation. In the case of evaporation, water changes to water vapor, and we can get that water by the process condensation. If we cool water vapor, then it again changes to water. That is the just reverse process. Condensation is the reverse process of evaporation. In the process of evaporation, water changes to gaseous state, that is into water vapor, and in the case of condensation, water vapor changes to water. The two processes are just opposite to each other. That is, water can be taken again by the process of condensation when it changes into water vapor. Now, tearing of paper. Tearing of paper is also a case of change in which physical change takes place. In the case of tearing of paper, although we cannot get back the original sheet once again, but the composition of paper does not change. It remains the same. That's why no new substance is formed. Generally, almost of the physical changes are reversible, no doubt. But there are some physical change or changes which cannot be reversed. That is, we cannot get once again the substances which get change to other substance, or which changes in size, shape. Other substances means if a totally entire substance is formed, that is the physical properties and chemical properties are changed, then this is not a physical change. But when we change the only physical properties of the substance, physical properties includes shape, size, color, and state. These are the physical properties. If only physical properties get changed during a change, then the change is considered as physical change. Mostly physical changes are reversible, no doubt. But there are some cases in which physical change are not reversible. And I told you one case, I have discussed one case, that is the tearing of paper, which is not a reversible process, because we cannot get the original sheet after tearing the papers from the piece of the paper. When we tear a paper, then it broken into pieces. And again, on collecting that pieces, we cannot get back the original sheet of paper. Although we can recycle the paper, but the original sheet cannot be get back. That's why we say that the tearing of paper is a physical change which is not reversible. There are two types of properties of substances. One is the physical properties I have discussed. That is the properties related to shape, size, shape, etc. And chemical properties of the substances, which is related to its composition, its action with other substances, or the chemical reactions. That is the reaction with other substances. These are the chemical properties. In a chemical change, the composition of the substances are changed, and new substances are formed with new sets of properties. Burning of paper is a chemical change. If we burn a paper, then carbon dioxide, moisture are formed, and we cannot get back the paper again from the dust, carbon dioxide. Generally, from that substance we cannot get back the paper again. That's why the change is irreversible. Similarly, hydrolysis of water is a chemical change. If we apply electric current, or electric current passes through water, then it gets broken into hydrogen and oxygen. The breaking of water into hydrogen and oxygen is known as hydrolysis of water. And this is a type of chemical change, because new substances, hydrogen and oxygen, are formed from water, and the property of hydrogen and oxygen are entirely different from the reactant, that is from water. Water, it does not burn. Water extinguishes fire. It is used to extinguish fire in many cases, whereas hydrogen is a combustible gas. It burns with pop sound. If we ignite that gas, then it burns with pop sound. And its calorific value, that is the amount of heat produced by the complete combustion of a unit mass of a fuel, is known as calorific value. Its calorific value is maximum among all the fuels. Then we see that hydrogen has different properties from water. Water extinguishes fire. On the other hand, hydrogen catches fire. Oxygen, which is a product obtained by hydrolysis or an hydrolysis of water. Hydrolysis of water we can say also. In this case, we see that oxygen is support of combustion. It supports combustion. It supports, but water does not support the process of combustion. Combustion is a process by which anything catches fire by getting heat from any other sources, or sometimes it's catching fire on its own. Like in the case of spontaneous combustion, no heat is needed. The substance catches fire on its own, like combustion of phosphorus. When phosphorus is exposed to air, then it catches fire without applying any force, without giving any force, without igniting, it catches fire. Then this is the substance which catches fire on its own, and this is type of combustion. And the explosion, on the other hand, is a combustion in which heat is supplied and the substance burns with a loud sound. And there are also other type of combustion like rapid combustion, which takes place in the case of burning of LPG or CNG. And in all the cases we say that in any burning process, chemical changes takes place, because in these type of changes, in the case of combustion, burning, new substances are formed, and we cannot get back the reacting substance from the products. That's why these types of changes are chemical changes. Now, it is a change in which only physical properties of substance are changed and no new substance is formed, is called physical change. This is the definition of physical change. We can define a physical change as a change in which no new substance, that is physical change is a change in which no new substance is formed. It means the composition of the substance does not change. It remains the same. And generally I told you that physical process or physical changes are reversible. We can get back the substance once again after changing the condition of the change. And if any change occurs in both sides, that is any substance is to other, then the other substance again can be converted into the first substance. By reversing the process, by any physical process, we can get back the substance. Then the process is reversible. Most of the physical changes are reversible. But tearing of paper is a physical change which cannot be reversed. That is, we cannot get back the original shape as discussed earlier. Evaporation of water. These are the examples in which water changes to water vapor by taking it below its boiling point temperature. There are two ways to change water into water vapor. One is by boiling When you boil water in a pan, then after getting a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, it start to change its state. It start to change into gaseous state. And on heating water up to a temperature 100 degrees Celsius, water changes to gaseous state, and this process is known as boiling of water. But if we sprinkle water on any surface, then water changes to water vapor, and after some time the space is dry. It means water changes to gaseous state, and we have not applied heat here in the case of evaporation. Only the water which are on any surface or in any container, it started to change into water vapor without taking any type of heat from external agent. But although it is taking heat from its surroundings, but we are not giving any type of heat to the substance. That the water changes to water vapor below its boiling point, below its temperature 100 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling point of water. Below the temperature 100 degrees, water changes to water vapor, and this is the process evaporation. And evaporation takes place at all temperature. 0 degrees Celsius is the temperature at which water exists in all the three states, in solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Because 0 degree is the freezing point of water. Freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. That is, water stops to freeze from liquid state to solid state at 0 degrees Celsius. That this is the temperature at which water is found in solid state also, and 0 degree at 0 degree it is also found in gas in the liquid state because at that temperature, when we decrease the temperature, then it start to change to gases to solid state, from liquid to solid state at 0 degrees Celsius. But not all the liquid changes to that solid state. It takes some time. Although the temperature remains fixed at that temperature. When we take ice in a pan and we place a thermometer, levity thermometer in the ice, and we start to heat the ice of the pan by heating the pan, then we see that temperature remains fixed. Temperature at first rise from -4 to 0 degree, but at 0 degree it remains the fixed unless all ice changes to water. After applying the heat, the temperature does not rise. It remains fixed. And when all ice changes to water, then after applying heat at above 0 degree, that is we say that when all ice changes to water, then on applying heat at that stage, the temperature at first rises and it goes up and up, and it reaches to 100 degrees Celsius, and after 100 degrees Celsius temperature remains the same. And when the temperature of the pan becomes 100 degrees, then water starts to change into vapor state. We see some vapors coming out from that pan, from that water container, and the temperature remains fixed. Although we are heating the substances, but the temperature does not rise. Temperature remains fixed. All water escapes out in the form of water vapor. and this is due to latent heat of vaporization. And when we start to melt ice, and the temperature does not rise after getting temperature 0 degree, then this is due to latent heat of fusion. There are two types of latent heat. Latent heat are used to change the state of the substance only. No, in any substances there are intermolecular attraction force acting between the molecules of the substance, and that intermolecular forces get weakened when we start heating. In the case of solid, the intermolecular attraction force is maximum, and when we start heating that substance, then we breaks the intermolecular attraction forces, and when it get broken, it overcomes that forces, intermolecular attraction forces, then the chain starts. Solid changes to liquid state, and when it starts, the temperature will be, because all the heat applied at that very temperature is utilized to change in the states, and that's why the temperature remains fixed at 0 degree Celsius when we start heating a substance in solid state. In the case of water, that is ice. In the case of ice, temperature remains fixed. Now I am talking about the physical and chemical change. Now I am going to that topic, that is a specific the heat of the element. Now the chemical change. A change in which chemical composition and properties of the reacting substances changes is called chemical change. Now the other type of change is a chemical change, in which composition of the substances changes. I told you that in the case of burning of paper, or in the case of burning of any combustible substance, the change is physical. The change is chemical change, because new substances are formed and we can not get back the original substance once again by reversing the process of the change. That's why a change in which chemical composition and properties of the reacting substances change is called chemical change, such as burning of paper, rusting of iron. Now there is another example, rusting of iron. Now when iron particles are kept exposed to air for a longer time, then it again changes to a flaky, porous substances, and that is known as rust. And it is a type of corrosion. Corrosion is the process by which any metal or any substance gets corroded. That is, the upper surface becomes becomes not shining, and once again that remains not the same after some time due to the formation of compound on the upper surface. And in the case of rusting of iron, ferric oxide is formed, hydrated ferric oxide, and due to which the iron particle get lost, that is they are decayed after some times, and this type of change is also a chemical change, because from that rust we cannot get back iron once again. That is, by any process we cannot get back iron particles once again by reversing the process. That's why rusting of iron is an irreversible change that cannot be reversed by reversing the process. There are many changes, like digestion of food. Digestion of food is also a chemical change. Similarly, photosynthesis is a process of making food by plants, green plants, by taking water, minerals from the soil, and carbon dioxide from atmosphere. Plants make their own food by the process photosynthesis, and once the food is prepared, we cannot get back the original substances from which the food is prepared once again by any processes. That's why photosynthesis is also a chemical change. Similarly, the displacement reaction, like when iron and copper sulfate reacts, then iron sulfate and copper are formed. And this is a type of chemical chain because we cannot get back iron and copper sulfate from iron sulfate and copper once again. That is, it is irreversible process. Once the reaction takes place, then we cannot reverse back the reaction. That is the process to get back the reactants. In a displacement reactions, highly reactive metal or sometimes non-metal displaces a less reactive metal or non-metal, and this in this process new substances are formed. Like when iron reacts with copper sulfate, then iron sulfate and copper are formed. This is displacement reaction between less reactive and highly reactive metal. And when chlorine reacts with silver bromide, then silver chloride and bromine are formed. And this is a type of displacement reaction in the case of non-metal. That is chlorine and bromine. Chlorine is highly reactive non-metal than bromine. That's why chlorine displaces bromine and it takes the place of bromine. On the other hand, iron is more reactive than copper. That's why iron displaces copper and it takes the position of copper. That is in the copper sulfate. It changes to iron sulfate now, and copper is displaced. And in this process, there is a change in color also. And this is due to the formation of iron 2 sulfate, which is a light green in color, and copper sulfate is blue in color. The solution of copper sulfate is blue, and when iron get immersed in that solution for sometimes more than half an hour, then the color changes from blue to green. And this is a type of displacement reaction. This is also a chemical reaction because new substances are formed. Burning of candle. Burning of candle, you see that at first wax melts, then it gets changes into liquid state, and that liquid wax goes up in wick. Wick is a cotton which is dipped inside that wax to make a candle. Now it goes above, and when it goes up above, then it changes to vapor state and it starts to burn in the vapor state in candle. And in candle there are very different types of zones in the flame. They are seen, and this is a type of chain in which melting of wax takes place and burning of wax also takes place. That is, melting of wax is physical chain, but burning of wax is a chemical chain, because if we burn the wax, then after burning wax we get water vapor and carbon dioxide. The products obtained are water vapor and carbon dioxide. That's why we say that this is the process in which both type of chemical reaction takes place simultaneously. Okay, now next.